Welcome, everyone. I'm your host, Raniah Askar, and we have got a lot to cover. So, who is ready to learn about the three costly mistakes that you're currently doing right now and hurting your business badly? Well, I know that there is so much you're doing right now in your business, like being on social media and trying to maybe doing some video on YouTube and some little podcasting and whatever things that you are doing in order to get new clients. And I know, of course, that attraction phase is a critical part of any business, that's for sure. But in the beginning, the most critical asset you have is really your time. But when this time is really spent on irrelevant content that you spit out there in order to just be seen or having more exposure without a really solid plan that you know how this content or piece of content is going to serve your business, it's really a waste of time. And what really hurts me most is to see, especially women entrepreneurs who crave to quit their 9 to 5 job in order to have the freedom of their business, but creating that other monster 9 to 5 business that is almost eating up all their time and energy. And the sad thing is that this time it is unpaid job. And my real intention by the end of this webinar is to make your efforts finally start to make sense and make big bucks. And that can only happen when we reverse engineer all the steps you are taking into your business in order to smoothly lead to your irresistible offer that really make people and your ideal clients say yes to the possibilities you are offering. So I wonder how many of you here are moms and kind of juggling trying to make their business work for them. You know, you look around and see how that one doesn't have a kid and she's able to do it because she is all the time on the earth. And my actually big turning point was when my kids became my reason to succeed. And this is actually how my journey as a business owner all started out. You see, after I got married, I joined my husband's business, working as a freelancer with him. And I was working a lot of hours, but being obsessed my whole life with the idea of efficiency and leverage, after I got my third child, I decided I got to figure a way out to stay more with my kids and work less. So in 2008, right before you guess it, yes, the economic crash, I decided to invest in real estate in Dubai. And as they say, when the US sneezes, the world catch a cold. So in 2010, specifically on October 10th, I woke up on a very unpleasant call to know that my whole investment was gone. It was definitely one of the darkest periods of my life. I can't tell you how bad I felt all the time. I felt ashamed, stupid, and frustrated. And out of guilt, I started to look again for leverage because I wanted badly to recoup the losses that I've made to my kids' money. And the only solution that made sense at that time for me was starting an online business, again, to be able to run a business that, of course, can bring me more money than any regular job and spend as much time as I can with my kids. And in 2012, I started to take one course after another, trying to get my hands on every piece of advice and strategy I can find to build my actually several businesses, online business that I've started. And the result, I kept watching my money going down the drain. And the ugly thing is that this struggle went on for 4 whole years. And one day, after another failing marketing campaign, I still remember it was on the New Year's Eve of 2016, I found my daughter trying to cheer me up, drew me this, wishing me to be the most successful entrepreneur ever. To know that your eldest daughter all that time was watching me failing miserably over and over again and still getting nowhere was enough of a reason to really start to reconsider my whole situation and start to really seek help. So I again looked for leverage and I couldn't find something better than having a coach. Because, based on stats, hiring a coach can increase your chances of success by up to 95%. So I did, and I was so glad I did because only after 3 sessions I knew that nothing was wrong with me. All was there is that I was constantly focusing on the wrong things. So, as you can imagine, because of the great pain I felt at that time, I immediately got to work and started to act upon every piece of advice I was given. And for the first time after 4 years, things finally started to shift. And the funny thing is that this coach was not even a business coach, she was a life coach. But this experience made me realize the power of coaching and helped me see why the info products I was consuming were not getting me anywhere. So I thought to myself, if I can bring the coaching world to business information through a structured and playful method that is guaranteed to yield results to my clients, that will be business nirvana, right? And I really got obsessed and immediately started to work on this new idea to finally come up with what I now call the leverage model. Something you're going to experience by the end of this call for free, no pitching here. So keep your eyes open for that, okay? And obviously, at first, I tried this model on my business, and the results were astounding. The things that were staying on my to do list for over months finally been done in less than 1 week. And then I tried it on another client, and the results were pretty much typical. And again, this model is what you're going to really experience with me by the end of this call if you are a finisher and stick till the end of this call. And now I can really say that I am living the business nirvana because I've relocated to a different country, living in a beautiful home, and most importantly, working from home, doing what I love most, which is helping other women entrepreneurs leverage their lifestyle business and doing good to the world while making big bucks. All because of the structured flow that I help them engineer in their content that make their potential clients cannot resist working with them. So, if a mom with 3 kids from Egypt can do it, you certainly can. And I would be really honored to be an example for you that you can do it as well. You can touch people all over the world with your message. All you need is to have your priorities, and that's exactly what we're going to cover today. So, if you're ready, let's just dive in. And here is the first costly mistake you're doing right now that is preventing you from reaching the level of success you want. You want to know it? It is the lack of the right order. You see, when you're starting a new business idea, I know that you feel like you really need to digest more information. So, what you do is that you get your inbox swamped with all the gurus, big names out there in order to get as much information and advice as you can to build your business quickly. And that's, of course, logical in the beginning. But that at some point has to really end and action has to start instead. In fact, I always say that to my kids when I see them consuming hours and hours of video on YouTube. And I say that now what you're watching is that you're watching YouTubers who are living their dream life. And obviously, you are interested in that kind of life, but what you're doing is passive activity that will never help you get to the life of your dreams. It's getting them the life of their dreams. So, if you really want to change that and swap places and have their life, you have to act. And this is what blinders mean. When you put on blinders, this is when you will have immense clarity and get to really hone in your skills and your voice, and of course, your positioning and place in the market. So, mistake number one, again, is the right order. And here is the exact order of business 101. People out there are trying to make you think that there is some crazy smart steps behind the scenes that they only know, when in fact there isn't. Because the right order that I really mean is simply 3 steps. Number one is to know who your audience is, and number two is to know what is their biggest pain, and finally, give them what they want, not what you got. And what you want, and what they want here, I mean, is giving them an irresistible offer based on what they say they want, not what you assume or think they want. So this is a business 101. This is the right order that every single business should go through in order to get or land their first paying clients. And this is what I call also the validation 101. So even if you are working on a crazy new idea, if you want to know if your business is working or not, you have to go back to this order. Who is your audience? What is their biggest pain? How are you going to help them get what they want through your irresistible offer? Simple as that. And when you do business this way and in this specific order, this is when your business will skyrocket. But to start out with your whole focus and your time and energy and money going on courses and information that is all about learning the gimmicks of SEO and Facebook ads and metrics and Instagram hacks, this is never the way to go. And here's the second costly mistake that most of my clients, whether they are coaches, consultants, or course creators, do in the beginning. And it is adopting the wrong mindset. So what do I mean by that? You see, when you're starting out, again, it's not about spitting out content that you have no clue how it will tie back to your core offer or irresistible offer. And when you do that, it's just going to be very exhausting because you are just going to be chasing your tail all the time and really end up nowhere. So how different you should think? You should think campaigns that have starting, middle, and end. And again, end. You have to focus on the end goal, which is your core offer. So no more piece of content, no more video, no more podcast, no more interview that is done irrelevant to what you are offering and that it's done haphazardly just to fill up your newsletter, weekly newsletter. This is a no-no. This is when new entrepreneurs easily lose momentum and unfortunately get out of the market. You should architect your content in a way that kind of create a well-oiled path for your clients to go from first stage to the next stage to the third stage till they reach a point where the only obvious step is to say yes to your offer. And that, of course, happens when you early on structure your whole content to make them know how it feels and look like to work with you, and they cannot really think of anything but to get their hands on your work because they are really craving their next transformation that you only provide. Here's the third mistake, which is the lack of the right focus, or what I call the ignoring of the power of onesies. So what are the onesies? The onesies are having one ideal client, one irresistible offer, and one lead generation method and one funnel, and do that for one whole year till you really start to master all of those pieces of your funnel. Because remember, as long as you did not get your first paying client, all the tips, tricks, and strategies that gurus out there are teaching you will not make any difference because they're going to be like icing to cake. So again, to make sure that you are choosing business over business, you have to have the right order, which is again finding the audience that you're going to serve and knowing their biggest pain and give them what they want. And number two is to have the right mindset, which is thinking campaigns by reverse engineering every piece of content, podcast, video you are doing on the web. And thirdly, by having the right focus by really using the power of onesie to your advantage, which is again having one ideal client, one irresistible offer, one lead generation method, one funnel for 1 year. So if you adopt those 3 R's, the right order, the right mindset, and right focus, I promise you will experience business nirvana way faster than the way you are doing business right now. And this is when you're gonna finally architect the lifestyle business of your dreams that is playful and structured and having all the elements that you need to have confidence that your business will not gonna be a source of anxiety, frustration, or constant stress and fear of running out of clients. In fact, you're gonna get to choose whether to go full speed or slow down when needed in order to take care of your family, your health, or whatever, because you now can afford it thanks to the structured flow of content that you have built in your business that is taking people inevitably to your irresistible offer. And as a thank you for sticking with me till the end of this webinar, and as I promised, I will send your way 2 very cool gifts that can help you immediately implement what we have covered today. And the first gift here will be one piece of the onesies that we've talked about today, and it is specifically one lead generation strategy that will help you definitely find your first client. And it is basically a PDF that has an email template accompanied by a short video with me walking you through how exactly to use this template to land your first client. And my second free gift to you here is just something incredibly valuable. You're gonna love it here, I'm sure. And it is a 45-minute complimentary call with me where we're gonna together work one-on-one on the first piece of the 5 onesies here. And the most important one, of course, which is nailing down your ideal client. So you know exactly how to craft the right messaging and offer that your potential client cannot simply resist. And out of this work that we're gonna do together, you're gonna know and identify exactly where your ideal clients are hanging out on the internet so you can target them and know what are their desired outcome. So when you craft your irresistible offer, it's gonna be all about what they want, not what you have got already, and maybe they don't want it at all. And this is something very sad that happened to a lot of entrepreneurs that do put together the offer that they think is what the market wants. And unfortunately, the product market fit does not happen. So that's why this first piece is really important. But first, you're gonna have to fill out the form that will appear shortly on this page. And once you fill out this form on the thank you page, as I promised, you will find the email template I mentioned earlier waiting for you there. So while you just go and play a little bit with this email template and try to put it to work, I will go through all your applications and start to schedule calls with the best fits. So even if you didn't end up on the complimentary call with me, you'll still get huge value out of this free email template. So everyone is winner here, okay? So just hurry up and fill out the form that is, I guess the link has just appeared here. And because as you obviously know, it's just limited places, I can't take too many calls. And make sure to look out for your next email from me in order to schedule this free call that you're gonna love, I'm sure. Okay, before we wrap up, I want to leave you with this. If you are currently struggling with your business or it's not reaching the level of success you have hoped for, I want you to do this. I want you to take a deep breath and have an honest moment with yourself and ask yourself why. For me, it was always that I hated the idea of admitting that I cannot figure it out by myself. Now, I don't know about you, but I know for sure that you don't have to wait till your kids start to notice your struggle and paint you a picture to cheer you up. Time to squash any false ideas that are messing with your head right now and get back in control over your business, finances, and your whole life. And as a business coach, in my experience, most people are one conversation away from getting what they want out of life, if they allow themselves. And today, you can make it happen. So click the link on the right because you have nothing to lose and everything to gain. And again, thank you so much for being here, spending the time with me. And I hope you got a ton of value today. I'm looking forward to our call together. So go out there, serve wholeheartedly, and sell out. Take care, everyone. Bye.